Recording.
I am too.
Okay, and 3, 2,
Clap.
1.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All
So
right.
this
You
is
can start
a.
it. Yeah, you can
You want me to
it.
start? I mean, it is.
Yeah, this is your series, so yeah, you
Okay.
can start it.
Yeah, I mean, also I'm curious though, because that's why I want to ask you first. So right now I want to talk about when I actually first, quote unquote, came out. Like I don't know, like some people don't
Yeah. She
really
pecked her way out of the
believe
shell.
in like the whole coming out thing. But yeah, but like I did just because I felt like I wanted my family to know. Well, some of my family,
Once with the
not
family,
certain.
or that one person in that. Well, no, technically two.
Yeah. I don't know, it's kind of scary. I'll talk about that later,
Okay.
I think. But, like, I think the people in my family that are, like, kind of more important to me, where I think that they'll accept me for, like, who I am and all of that, like, soft stuff, was, like, you and also, like, our cousin. But I also haven't told her yet, I think, even though
I think she knows. Pretty
I
sure.
think so. I think she'll be
I
surprised.
don't think she would care.
I don't think so, but I think...
She would take it. She wouldn't.
I don't know. I feel like... And
I think she wouldn't take it as
Yeah.
like weirdly. She'd just like, oh, that's cool. Like you do whatever you want. Like she won't really like if she had an issue. I
Yeah.
don't think she would say it. But she
Oh,
would just be
definitely
like,
not,
okay,
yeah.
like that's fine because
yeah.
it's your life.
Also, her husband, I think her husband picked up on it before I did. I mean, before
Probably.
she did. Because he kept asking me questions about, like, certain things.
He picks up
Yeah.
real quick. But I think he's also very direct too. So it's
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But I think the first person I told in our family, I mean, the only person I told in our
Yeah.
family
Was her dog? Oh,
was
never mind.
you. We don't have a dog.
Yeah.
I want a dog. Anyway, it was you, right? Like, I don't even remember what year that was.
Well, technically,
I think we were both in
yeah.
high
Well,
school, right?
I think I kind of
Uh-huh.
already knew because you dated a girl in high school, so it's like, okay, I already know.
Oh yeah, because people would
people
talk,
talked
right?
about that.
People
Most people
talk
don't
all
like.
the
A lot of people
time.
don't care. Plus, a lot of people
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
talk to me about that stuff at school anyway. So it's like, I don't think they cared much. So I'm like, I already know. So
Yeah.
you know, it didn't really
Yeah.
bother me at all. No one really said anything
Yeah.
too. So it's whatever.
Yeah. So I think like when I first told you, I feel like everyone I knew kind of knew because we went to the same school.
Yeah.
Like exactly like you said, right?
Your friends were my
Um,
friends.
but I think-
technically,
True.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, right? Yeah. I think like I was still a little nervous though.
yeah,
Because I
it's
care
different.
about you and I know that like we talk and we're close, but it's still different, right? Because like I think like just with how our family is, they're not necessarily very
Yeah,
accepting,
yeah.
right? So it was kind of like I was still worried that if I told you like you'd see me differently. There's like it was just like oh no, you know. But like at the same time I was like, you know, like I had the whole mindset of like if you don't like me anymore because of that, screw you.
Is that you tell me I have more respect for you? Because I was like, no.
No, but then like it's just so contradictory because I'd be like whatever, it doesn't matter, but in my mind I'm like oh no,
Yeah, you're low key sad about it.
he's
You're
gonna
like,
hate
"Aw."
me. I know, because I would be. But yeah, that's like what happened, and I honestly like I think it's good that it's like this, but I really don't remember when I told you and how I told you. So you gotta tell me a little bit about that because I feel like you said
I think
you remembered.
officially you told me, like you came out and told me whatever, because a lot of because you kind of like made jokes about it, like people knew who you dated, because a lot of my friends know too. They're like they don't really care because it's nothing bad. Like they don't have anything against it, so we already kind of knew. And you made jokes about it too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I subtly put it into your
yeah,
brain.
even though it wasn't that
that
subtle
I'm
because
gay.
you straight up say it, but you know, okay, it's not that
Oh
subtle.
yeah.
And then,
Oh,
so basically,
that's
I
funny.
think second year. Yeah, what year am I? Yeah, second year of college. It was like I think 10 o'clock. I mean, right after my class. No, I think I start class like at 12. I don't know when I start class. I don't remember my schedules anymore, but it was early morning. I was in library studying, being a good student. I just get a text from you like, can I tell you something? I'm like, yeah, okay. And then you just, I forgot the word you said. Right? I don't know. But I know what it meant. And I knew your meaning. And you just tell me, and then you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool, good for you. Like, I don't really know what to say. Because, like, I don't... Alright, here's my thought on everything, right? Because you telling me, like, I appreciate it. I think it's really cool that you trust me enough to tell me. But it's like, when you told me that, and I kind of just thought about it, I'm like, huh. It's not, it's like a big deal for you, but for me, it's like, it doesn't affect me negatively. So it's like, I shouldn't really have anything bad to say about it. You get what I mean? So like, you telling me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. More respect for you. I'm happy that you're able to comfortably say that, even though we're really close and we usually tell each other a lot of stuff. So I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
But I think you also told me, because you asked me like, oh, like, what do you think, or like something like that. It's like you're trying to get my,
oh my god, yeah, I was probably nervous.
Idea, like my feelings out, and I'm like, I don't really know what to say about that, right? And then you told me you were kind of scared, like you were scared to tell me. I'm like, wait, there's nothing really to be scared about, right? But I understand why you would be.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. Like, I kind of already know what you were talking about, what you were feeling, because I'm pretty sure it is very scary to tell people that, or like coming out, because a lot of parents kind of disowned their kids. Friends kind of bailed on them. People gave them mean looks and stuff like that. It's like, I understand that society's kind of, we're moving towards like a more equal society, but but there's still society. Like there's still people who can't accept new ideas, which is kind of bad, right? As for me though, it doesn't really, like, I don't think, why I thought it was kind of weird where it's like you got scared. It's like, I don't really think I would have been unaccepting. Is that a word? Like, rude? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that word meant. Yeah.
Or just like negative.
Like, I don't think it would have changed how I look at you, because you already had a very low standard for me. I already look at you like it's not a very high standard. I'm just kidding.
Excuse me.
But yeah, like I think about it, it's like, if it doesn't, this is honestly like my mindset for a lot of these things, like the Black Lives Matter, all the people protesting genocide, all those inequalities in the world. It's like a lot of people have different ideas on it, right? Whether it's like, it's technically, there's no neutral stuff. It's always like one-sided for each thing. If you support it, if you don't. And a lot of people have a lot to say, especially if they have limited knowledge on it and they don't try to go educate themselves. They just talk, right? For me, it's like, I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut for the most part. And two, if it doesn't affect me negatively, I feel like there's no reason to say you don't support it. It's like Black Lives Matter. You know how people are saying, like, there's like the people that don't believe white supremacists, whatever, people that do believe it. Hopefully I don't say the wrong thing. It's like,
it's okay. I think it's a learning process, and I can always let
but
you
like,
know.
My thing is too. It's like, I thought about it before. It's like, wait, should I have more have stronger feelings about it, right? But then I think about it. It's like, how I look at a lot of these things. It's that if it doesn't affect me negatively, and it's for something like a greater cause, it's like beneficial to everyone, I'm just gonna support it. Yeah. Not blindly, because I'm looking at, at like a reasonable standpoint, that if it's good, I'll support it. And that kind of brings it to like the LGBTQ community. It's like a lot of people are like, they're weird, they're whatever. It's like, are they? It's like, I don't get the thought behind that, because a lot of people are like, they're weird, two people same sex kissing, that's weird. It's like, what? Like, I just don't get that. Like, it doesn't affect you.
Like,
Yeah,
where
it's
does
like,
that
it
come
doesn't
from,
affect
right?
you,
Like, why are you so...
right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it affects
That's a
you
good way to
so
put it.
little. You don't even have to look. Like, if two people are kissing, you don't have to look, right? And that's how I think about it. It's like, I'm not affected negatively. They're not coming to kill me, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't bother me. And that's kind of how
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
more about myself. It's like, that's kind of how I just view a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think that's why, like, even though I was scared, like, logically I knew that, like, there's nothing that I should be, like, scared of. Because I think we've talked and I understood, like, where you come from, where, like, you are open-minded, like, just from how you, like, look at things. Like, it's like you're open-minded to the fact that there are... Stupid car. You're open-minded to the fact that there are people who are different from you, and that's
Yeah.
okay. I think a lot of people right now, it's like, the reason why I also think very similarly, it's like, what does me loving another person have to do with anything about
Yeah.
your life?
Like, you don't know
like,
the
like
person.
anyone else's lives, right? Yeah, and also it's like, in the end, like, all of this stuff benefits everyone, so that people are at
Yeah.
equal advantage, like equal, like place. And right now that's not where we are, especially in the US.
Yeah.
Right? So no, I agree. Yeah, I think it's like, what's it called, like, yeah, it's hard to, like, tell people that, though, because I feel like a lot of the times it's like, change is not something that is easily accepted, because it's just the whole value and the standards that are, like, behind it. Because I know a lot of people, I was watching this thing where it's like, especially with people who don't realize that, like being queer is not by choice. Like, you don't, like, just choose. And then there's a lot of conversation where it's like, this is why I don't tell our parents and stuff, but it's like, if I tell them, right, there was a story where it's like, if I am queer, I would expect my parents to be like, well, what does it matter if I'm queer? Why can't you just love me for who I am, because I'm your daughter, right? But from the flip side, like, I also completely understand, like, those who are, like, raised in a certain way. Like, that's their value. That's the core and identity of, like, who they are, in terms of, like, this is not okay. So for them, especially if they think that being queer is a choice, they're probably thinking, like, my mom's probably thinking that it's like, well, I'm your mom, why can't you just let this go, especially if this is a choice? But it's not, right? I think that's why, like, the whole education behind it that is tied in with people's beliefs is just so ingrained in people's minds that it's like, they can't. Yeah, so I'm, like, so happy that, like, just, like, talking with you, I know how open you are to a lot of things. So that's why I was always, like, glad that we ended up being closer, because I know we have our ups and downs, but, like, I was
There
glad
are
I was able to, like,
disagreements.
feel like I want to tell you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
But
as with anyone, like, we're not the same people.
I want to add,
Yeah.
when you said that people, what was it? It's like talking to people who are, like, very traditional. They were raised many, many years a certain way, where their beliefs is basically their identity. I have thought about that too, because when you see people who are so affected by such little issues, or I think that are little, right? It's like very,
As in,
it
like,
doesn't cause anything. It's kind of like the mask issue, right? I don't want to get too much into it, but it's like, if it's such, to them, to me, it's like, like, they're so comfortable in their life. They're so used to having everything just be available, no inconvenience, right? A little bit of inconvenience basically messes them up. Then they feel scared, right? Because they're already so comfortable.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
that kind of goes into accepting people who are different. It's that they're in, like, a comfortable life. Everything's already standard. Everything's normal, right? But when something changes, they feel uncomfortable because it's different. And a lot of people don't like different.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, change is scary. And
Yeah.
that's,
Change is scary.
But
yeah.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are also take it as, like, changes disrupting their comfort, their way of life. And I feel like that's also kind of,
Yeah.
to me, why I think that's kind of lame is because if you're always comfortable, don't you get bored? Right?
I mean, that's why it's like for us, where we're always choosing to find a new thing. Like, and we get bored pretty easily, and we always want to make that next step, make that next move. Like, that to them, to look at people who like to stay comfortable, yeah, we probably don't get it, because we're just different types of people. Yeah, so like I agree. It's kind of like, yeah, like, do they get bored? Are they continue to improve? But I'm pretty sure that's not what they're thinking. Like, they're like, well, like, I like where I'm at, and there's no problem with where I'm at. But I think that the issue, yeah, it's normal, right? The whole issue is, though, that if your normal is making it so much harder for other people to live normally too, that's kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like having some sort of empathy, being open-minded should also be a value in your life. Like, no matter how strong those other values are, it's like, well, those values also tie in with, like, being, like, say you have kindness as a value, well, that also ties in with, like, how do you be kind in general if you're not open-minded to accept other people's, like, lived experiences and
like, I'm kind to people that are like me. So if I'm a guy, I'm kind to guys, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that's like, so I feel like it's like people place their values on things that like only they understand versus like trying to really find different perspectives. And I think that's what is the whole thing, where it's like you can't grow if you don't accept and learn about experiences and perspectives that are different from yours. And obviously that's me like preaching on the soapbox and all of that, but like that's just my thought, which is why it kind of sucks, because like I know that it's like if I were to tell some people about like who I am and who I'm dating, I would not be welcome in their space, and I'm not going to be comfortable.
I guess
with
it's
them.
a little bit different where we're living too, because I think that LA especially is kind of where most people are pretty open-minded. I'm guessing, because what's it called? A lot of my friends, you know, we all have like mutual friends that are, you know, part of the LGBTQ community, and a lot of them are still very accepting. And there are like people at school, like a lot of colleges has the pride sensors and stuff like that. It's like not many people protest that, so it's like we're in a place that are filled with pretty open-minded people. Definitely, they're all like
California, right? Is
definitely
very liberal.
There are some like handful of like millions that are kind of not with us, but no, I think overall it's still pretty good. I think in other states you would have a harder time.
Yeah. Also with like everything and like the administration that we have for our government, kind of sucks for the LGBTQ community right now.
Let's say, no, Black Lives Matter supports Pride, and then
dude, like
vice versa.
I don't know if you knew this, but like, because then like being like there's a like, you know, like the revolution of like the first like the stone. Wow, I just lost the thing. But the riots for like more rights for the community started with the Black trans women. Like that's how it started. So that's why it's like you can't be Black Lives Matter and not support like the LGBTQ community. Like you can't be an ally to Black lives and not to LGBTQ like lives. Like it has to be, everything is connected, and that's just how you gotta look at things. It's like that, you can't just be pro this and then just be like, well, I don't support anything else.
It's like pro minorities, but I only support Asians. It's like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
That's the
only Asians.
That doesn't help.
Only the Asians that are lighter skinned. Only Asians that are rich. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Only people who are exactly like me, so only I benefit from it. And that's like, I feel like that's like, in the long run, not gonna benefit the people that you're trying to like support.
Like, you're just a selfish person. Right? Yeah. Selfish.
I like how we started talking about selfish.
It's like it started off like a good conversation that just started becoming bashing on people. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, at first I was just like, yeah, so like, how did you feel when I first told you this? And after now we're just like, why can't people just
Yeah, why can't people
accept?
be open-minded? Right? Everyone likes
Yeah,
dogs.
I mean, it takes a while.
Everyone likes dogs. If you don't like dogs, you're stupid. Okay? So everyone likes dogs. And we're all open-minded people. Cat lovers are bad.
Yeah, it's the whole black and white. Like
Yeah.
nothing is black and white.
There's like
Yeah.
neon.
Yeah.
You know, some red.
Yeah. Did Hey, when I first told you, like, how much did you know about like the LGBTQ like community and all of
Do you
that?
know what I remember, right? So you sent me the word.
What?
I still remember the word. First thing I did, I went online, typed in the word, read it, and then I go back. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, good. And then you kept talking, and then I send you a picture of what it meant. I'm like, this is what it means, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're on the same page. I didn't have to look that up. You know, it was
You're just
conveniently
double-checking?
in my phone already, right? It wasn't screenshotted that day when you told me.
Oh my god, I didn't know that you like searched it up.
Yeah,
And
but then
everything.
I forget, so it didn't really do much. And I think I deleted the picture too.
Yeah, yeah. So honestly, I got pretty lucky just to like still being close to you.
All
and,
my
like,
friends are accepting too.
being. Yeah, they know who like yeah, and also like I feel like it helps that it doesn't really help, but I feel like people still have a lot of like stereotypes, and then excuse me, how I look. Usually, people can like guess. Like I've had people point blank like ask me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people at my school dress like how you dress. They look good though. You sometimes questionable, but those people I see, they
Hey.
look pretty good.
Yeah, the fashion
Yeah.
statement. It's great. Like I think like people should be able to express themselves, and I'm lucky that you were like accepting of how I express myself and who I am. Wow.
I know.
Remember, if you ever need to tell me anything,
Don't go to you. Any good news,
Correct.
I'll go talk to our cousin. Once I get a dog, you'll be the last person to know.
Yeah, and maybe I was thinking like maybe when I'm like financially stable, I'll tell people in our family, and then if stuff doesn't happen the way I want
Yeah.
it to, or like in a positive way, then I'll be like,
I still have money.
see you later.
I can still live on my
Yeah.
own. So I moved 300
Exactly.
miles away.
It sucks that people have
Moved
to prepare
300
like
miles
that.
away, then call them,
Imagine.
FaceTime them. I'm like, yo, so this is what's up. And they're like, oh. And they can't even come beat you up. You know, they can't give you a spanking because you're not there. Right? They're going to take out the bamboo stick and start whacking you.
No, but yeah, I feel like I got again like, man, like people wanting to come out or like scared to come out, like it sucks. Like that not everyone's accepting, but just know that I was like we don't need to. We
Yeah.
can choose family, Like blood doesn't always
Mhm.
just mean family, and I think people who accept you for who you are and like are there for you to support you no matter like what you identify as and all of that is like
Mhm.
important. And I think I learned that early on with like my friends and you. So
Yeah, that's
pretty
good. That's
lucky.
good. I think that's a good advice for everyone too. It's like some people have toxic families, some people have toxic friends. It's like you'll find your group, you'll find
Yeah.
your community.
Yeah. That's why, like, if anyone ever has any like questions or needs support and stuff like that, especially for those that maybe still live at home or like are still scared of like people not accepting them, it's like just know that
There are
like,
people there.
there are people who
There are
accept you.
very similar people.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
everyone feels more confident in coming out. Hopefully you all have an amazing group of friends that you could talk to, because
Yeah. And
life is
mhm.
tough.
Life is tough. Yeah, and if like coming out is not like I know it's like you don't like some people like depends like you don't
Mhm.
need to come out and like you can live life the way you want to live it. I think like be confident in like how you want to live
Exactly.
your life because it is your life.
Don't care what other people.
But just know I
Don't
think
care about other people.
yeah, like the most important part is that like, are you comfortable with yourself, and then are the people that you care about and like will support you also comfortable with you, and if not, then I'm
Find
like,
new people.
maybe they
Find
need
new
to,
friends.
yeah, maybe they need to like reevaluate like what
Exactly.
they're thinking and stuff like that. But yeah, everyone's coming out experience
Yeah.
is different, but this one
Yeah.
was mine
Hope you all enjoyed.
with my brother.
I know.
Wow.
So amazing.
Alrighty. Well, this is kind of like a series,
Yeah.
so probably keep
Talk
going
more about
like my
relationship.
experiences and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
what
what
I've
have
done
I done?
with like and like the thoughts that you've had.
What have I done?
continually.
Like absolutely nothing for relationships. Too hard. That
That's
is
not true.
Too hard.
No, you
Too
got
hard.
it.
I don't.
believe in you.
All right, cool. Thank you to everyone who's listening. It's been a fun time.